Of the NBA Finals tonight, up the street at Madison Square Garden, President Trump is going. City officials have told fans if they want to go to the game, if they're lucky enough to have the multi-million-dollar tickets, arrive 2 hours before game time. That's what the president's presence is going to do there. People might not like that, but they may have pretty firm opinions on the president already. With us now, CNN chief data analyst Harry Enten. So it may not be the 2 hours before the game thing that sets New York voters off when it comes to President Trump. How's he doing here?
Yeah, I would just say this. The President of the United States, Donald John Trump, may be more hated in his home state of New York than the San Antonio Spurs. Because what are we talking about here? Let's take a look here. Trump's net approval rating in New York State. You know, you go back to January 2025. It was, not so great, but not so terrible. 5 points underwater. But look at where he's fallen to now. He is now 30 points underwater on the net approval rating in his home state of New York. A massive drop-off we have seen in his popularity in the Empire State.
And it's interesting, when you dig into some of these numbers, there were some groups, even in this very liberal state, that the president was doing well with.
Yeah, okay. You know, a lot of the people who might be getting screwed tonight, especially with that watch party getting canceled, are working class New Yorkers. And those are the voters who have turned most against the president of the United States. Okay, Trump's approval rating in New York State with incomes under $50,000. You know, back in January 2025, he was actually slightly above water, 1 point above water. But hey, 1 point above water is better than 1 point below water. But look at where he is now. A dramatic decline. My goodness gracious. Right down there into the Hudson River. He's now 36 points underwater, nearly a 40-point move against the President of the United States with working class New Yorkers, those with incomes under $50,000. And that is matching what we're seeing nationwide as well. And that is the President of the United States. Disproportionately, he is losing support among working class Americans, and he's disproportionately losing support among working class New Yorkers.